Yo, what is up, guys? It is Nick, or the Notorious Fantasy, back again today with another fantasy football video. Today's video is Week 6 defenses to stream. These are 4 defenses that I believe you can pick up and help you dominate this week, Week 6 in fantasy football. So, before I get into the video, I'd like to give you guys a word from my sponsor, OverlayDFS.com. They're a great company. I love playing on the website. There's going to be videos for the website because I play on it so many times every single week. It is a great time. Cue the roll. Now, tired of having to pick the perfect player at every single position in order to win at salary cap DFS? Are you tired of having your salary cap lineup out of the running to win money in the first 5 minutes? Does playing salary cap DFS feel like a job and not even a game? Want a fantasy game where pros with 150 lineups and computer generated games can't dominate? OverlayDFS.com has a new revolutionary start-sit game for fantasy sports. They are the home of the single-entry GPP. How do you play? It is a simple start-sit format. Make 12 start-sit decisions from the 30-plus matchup presented, like you can see on my screen right now. A winner, win, loss, or tie will be awarded to your overall record for each decision. Records of the top 10% of users win 9 times your buy-in. 12-0 records win GTD progressive bonus. All matchups are player versus player. Who will have the most fantasy points? Usually, an 8-4 record is good enough to get that cash. Sometimes 7-5, other times 9-3, depending on the week. Make 12 picks on the matchup options listed. For example, in Week 5, it could be Cooper Kupp versus Todd Gurley, Adam Thielen versus Stephon Diggs, Carson Wentz versus Tom Brady, and many, many more. The object is to stay consistent and finish in the top 10% of the field to win 9 times your buy-in until the stars align and you go that beautiful 12-0. Right now, if you go the perfect 12-0 in the $109 game, you'd win the progressive bonus of over 26 big ones, $26,000. They have buy-ins at all levels. If no one hits that perfect 12-0, the progressive bonus keeps growing and will roll over until it gets hit. It's like the super contest, but for DFS. Do not get shut out. Visit www.overlaydfs.com today. And we are back. Week 6 defensive streams. So the Dallas Cowboys are my first streaming option. They're going up against the New York Football Jets, 52.7% owned on NFL.com. Now, as you know, Sammy Darnold, Sammy Mono is coming back. Does that scare me? Slightly. Am I truly scared? No, because they're playing the Jets that have looked god-awful. Their O-line is terrible. Their O-line is all hurt. Their defense looks like shit, but that doesn't really matter because we're talking about the Dallas Cowboys defense, and Sam Darnold is going to be rusty, okay? His mouth all used up. How hard is it going to be for him to talk after all this mono? Who really knows? But with that being said, that's more of a joke. I do think that Sam Darnold is going to be rusty and be playing unlike himself, and I think that he won't have all that productive of a game this week against Dallas. The Dallas Cowboys had a great week 3 and week 4 from a fantasy side. Week 3 against Miami, obviously a shit tier defense, 6 point or a shit tier offense, 6 points allowed, 3 sacks, 1 fumble recover. Week 4 against New Orleans, a better offense, 12 points allowed, 5 sacks, and 1 pick. So the Dallas Cowboys have had a few good games last week. They played against the Packers. Obviously, that's going to be a hard offense to stop. The Jets allowed 10 sacks last week with 2 INTs, 1 fumble, and 2 touchdowns on 6 points allowed to the Eagles. So I think it's entirely possible that while we don't see that amazing of a game, we still see a pretty solid game from the Cowboys this week, and that's why I like them a lot. At number 2, we have the Washington Redskins going up against my Miami Dolphins, 2.1% ownership on NFL.com. A lot of people are going to be jumping the gun on the Washington Redskins this week. They're going to see they're playing the Miami Dolphins. The Miami Dolphins are such a juicy matchup. I know they're a juicy matchup. Okay? I know. But what I do know is that the Miami Dolphins are probably going to end up winning this game. Somehow, the football gods, Dan Marino is going to somehow play in the game or something, and we are going to win the game. The Dolphins have only scored 26 points in 4 games. That is terrible. We got shut out against the Patriots week 2. No matter how bad the defense is, I think the defense will still perform. Rosen will throw picks. He will get sacked and all of that. But I do want you to, lower your expectations just a little bit because I think this game could end up Miami could end up winning the game, and I think that that would obviously hurt the Redskins defense, but still I think that they are still a good stream this week. The third defense to talk about here is the Green Bay Packers going up against Matt Stafford and the Detroit Lions, 40.3% ownership on NFL.com. Now the Lions give up the 11th most fantasy points to defense. Now is that amazing? No, but what kind of defenses have they played against? They played against the Chiefs last week, or not last week, but their last game. Last week they had a bye. Now, the Chiefs are obviously a shit tier defense, but even against Matt Stafford, the Chiefs defense played okay. Now, played a strong at the beginning of the year for the Green Bay Packers defense. Week 1 at Chicago, 5 sacks, 1 pick, 3 points allowed. Week 2 against Minnesota and Kirk Cousins, 1 sack, 2 picks, 2 fumble recoveries, and 16 points allowed. And week 3 against Joe Flacco and the Denver Broncos, 6 sacks, 2 INTs, 2 fumble recoveries, and 16 points allowed. So you can see that the Packers can do it. They do have a healthy defense, a pretty good defense. And I think Matt Stafford really has not seen too much of a good defense to play against. I think that this week that Matt Stafford may end up getting stunned in Green Bay this week against the Packers. So I like the Packers this week. And the final defensive stream is the Tennessee Titans going up against the Denver Broncos. 59.5% ownership, so a bit harder to get them. Denver has not been scoring very many points. Joe Flacco has not looked all that amazing, except for the last 2 weeks he's looked pretty good. Week 1 against the Oakland Raiders, 16 points allowed. Week 2, or 16 points scored, I should say. Week 2 against Chicago, they scored 14 points. Week 3 against Green Bay, 16 points. Week 4 against Gardner Minshew and the Jacksonville Jaguars, 24 points. And week 5 against the LA Chargers, 20 points. But even if Joe Flacco is starting to heat up, the offense seems to look a bit better. The Titans defense has looked very good the last 2 weeks, allowed under 14 points 2 weeks in a row. So I'm very confident that the Tennessee Titans defense will be locked and loaded and good this week going up against the Denver Broncos. So thank you guys all for watching this video. If at any point you found it informative or anything like that, make sure to click that subscribe button. Make sure to have a great day. Make sure to have a beautiful day. Make sure to come back and watch the other videos later. You are not going to regret it. Make sure to click on that link down below to my sponsor, overlaydfs.com. Come play with me. Come fly away with me. We are going to have a great time this week. We're going to have a great week in general. Have a great rest of your day. I love each and every single one of you. Goodbye.